Reaction gang, what's good? It's your boy No Limit Nino back again in the building. If it's your first time, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you just, what am I saying? I rock with y'all rock with me, and let's get past the intro, right? I bet. Today I want to get into some alien stuff. I mean, I was just watching this Joe Rogan video about alien encounters, and I just want to see like what's the most believable alien abduction story, or let's see, alien abduction stories. All right, let's see. 3 bizarre cases of alien abduction. Billy Carson shares traumatic alien confrontation story. Let's check that out on the Andrew Schultz show. We got
Watch the NBA Finals live.
So you think you saw an alien spaceship?
Yeah, because back then I don't believe we had the technology to create a ARV, an alien reproduction vehicle. I think what I saw was probably a real UFO.
Wow. Are you the first black guy to see a UFO?
I'm not the first black guy. I'm just one of the first, I'm not one of the first, because I know there was Benny and Barney Hill. Barney Hill was a black guy who came out, I think it was in the 60s or 70s, about his abduction situation with him and his wife. And him and his wife were abducted, and they gave an account of what these beings showed them as where they came from. And nobody knew where the Zeta Reticuli star system was at that time. It didn't exist in our star maps. Later on, it came out. A person says, wait a minute. And they put it together and said, this is Zeta Reticuli. We found this star system now. Now we know where they said they were from. Pretty interesting.
Wait, hold on.
I did not know that the Betty and Barney joint, that they told them the star that they came from. I did not know that. I thought they just got abducted and they did some research on them and then brought them back. I didn't know they told them where they came from, and then we went on to discover said place. That's crazy.
So this couple described a star system that they could have no prior knowledge of.
Correct.
Meaning they couldn't have gone to school and learned about this or read about this anywhere.
Right, exactly.
Later on, we find this star system.
Yeah.
And then who connects the dots?
An astrophysicist or astronomer connects the dots and says, wait a minute, this is Zeta Reticulus.
Okay, so you see this thing. And again, we don't know. It could be advanced technology that we have that you saw.
Right. Science is full of uncertainty, which I learned from
Facts.
Professor James Gates yesterday when I talked to him about supersymmetry and stuff in an interview I did with him just yesterday. And that uncertainty is always there. You can never say anything for 100% certainty. And so because of that, there is always a possibility that it's something else.
I had dinner with Bob Lazar.
Okay.
And my takeaway from the dinner with Bob was going on Rogan, and Rogan asked me if I wanted to come to dinner. So we went to Fogo de Chao.
Wow.
As you do. And Bob was there, and Jeremy Corbell was there as well.
Yeah.
And Bob believed what he saw.
Mm.
Now, that doesn't mean that it's not advanced technology that we have, that we've created, but I do believe that he was working on something, and he believed it was alien spacecraft.
All right, so if you've never seen the Bob Lazar interviews on Joe Rogan, basically Bob Lazar, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I think he actually went inside a spacecraft, and he described how inside the spacecraft looked. I think he saw actual alien bodies, but I mean, when I was listening to his interview, it sounded credible. But I mean, who am I? I mean, I just want to hear a good alien story.
So I believe that he was being honest.
I can tell you why I believe his story, at least some of it, is because he talked about element 115 before he even discovered element 115.
Yeah.
We're talking about 25 years span in between.
That's why the star system thing is quite interesting to me. So if you are describing things that have not been discovered yet, and then they do become discovered.
Exactly.
It adds some credibility.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so with your situation, you believe you saw a UFO.
Yeah.
Do you think that the UFO people, the aliens or whoever they are, do you think they choose the people that see them, or this is happenstance?
If you start researching these alien abduction experiences or these alien sighting experiences, which there are now over 7 million of them documented in MUFON, you start to see a similarity between the stories and repetitiveness with some of the visitations or sightings or whatever you want to call them. And so it's quite possible that they isolate and interact with specific people at specific times. I mean, to what agenda? At the end of the day, we're like ants.
Did you have any community?
I'm gonna be honest. One day I was coming outside my house and I looked up in the sky. No lie, I looked in the sky and I saw four or five white dots traveling all in the same speed, just in a line down the sky. And my wife was like, they're probably doing some type of aircraft thing with the army close by or whatever. But nah, I mean, to this day, I feel like I saw some alien shit. I promise you. I've seen it. I've seen UFOs. I've seen them.
Communication at all? Did you feel anything in the moment?
I felt nothing in that moment. I had a second experience in 2010, which is well documented. I've talked about it. It took years to come out about it because I basically lost my whole family over this.
No way.
Yeah.
You came out of the closet? No.
But yeah,
Tell me, what happened?
So 2010, I came home. I was working on this big project called Fort Terra Nova, which I built. And Fort Terra Nova, it was on the History Channel, a Countdown to Apocalypse, the Nostradamus episode. And anyway, so I was working on this project. I come home. I'm looking at ESPN. And I'm looking at sports at about 9 o'clock p.m. All the lights turn dim, the TV turns off, and I thought my kids were playing a trick on me because they lived up in the room behind me, up on the second floor. And I look up, and there's nobody there. When I turn around, there were these two beings right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And,
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 302.
I mean, was he about to...
Masha versus Poirier for the lightweight title. ESPN Plus subscribers can...
Man, hold on.
Whoa. You said that they doctored the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, what's going on? Let me track back.
So you think you saw an alien spaceship?
Let's try to find that spot right quick.
About them. So I felt like if I would talk about it, I would give them driving at the time. I destroyed and broke the camel's back.
Uh-huh.
So they were right there. I'm sitting in a... Hold on.
Whoa.
Like the floor, and I looked.
All right, I got back to the part, but I mean, damn, buddy, it got buddy a little bit emotional. Man, let's hear what happened.
Kids were playing a trick on me because they lived up in the room behind me, up on the second floor, and I look up, and there's nobody there. When I turn around, there were these two beings right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And,
Whoa.
Man, hold on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Sorry.
No.
Look at Andrew. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, pick yourself, man.
No.
So they were right there. I'm sitting in a chair about this high, so they were right here in my eyes, and,
Yo, Alex is freaking out right now.
Yo, I'm freaking out. Yo, what happened? I mean, this man just came to tears. I mean, listen. Hey, it's a Denzel, Will Smith, look, Leonardo. It's a lot of good actors out there. This man just came to tears. I'm sold. I'm sold, buddy. You don't have to tell me anything else, and I believe you.
This is wild. Okay.
all right, let me get myself together.
No, take your time.
So they were there. They had the big almond eyes like you see on TV. I swear they did.
So you have two beings in front of
But
you.
they didn't look like they were real eyes. They looked like coverings of some type. And they didn't communicate with me through any kind of telepathy that I could tell, but I felt like my brain was shaking in my skull. to the point where it started hurting, and I started screaming, but no sound was coming out of my throat. I could feel the air coming out, but I couldn't hear it myself.
And you were awake during this period. You weren't taking a nap or anything like that?
Taking a nap, no psychedelics.
Of course, yeah.
And my whole house, everyone was in. My wife at the time, my ex-wife was in the bedroom right behind the next wall. My girls were in that side of the house. It split 4 p.m. My boys were in that side of the house. The house was full of people. Nobody heard us or anything. I was screaming. A few seconds later, it stops, and they turn around, and they don't walk like a person. They kind of dangle. So they kind of dangled away, and they went right through the wall. And then, boom, the TV comes back. The lights come back to normal color. And that's when I went running around the house, and it was just traumatic for everybody, and it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. There was other reasons why, but I ended up my one son, Giovanni, he's told me I'm scared to even come around you, and still to this day he rarely ever calls me or comes around. It's like I lost my son. I made no money off of this. I got no exposure off of this, so I kept it.
I mean, that's actually sad to hear. And I feel like what he's saying is I guess his reaction to what he feels that he saw, or that he saw his reaction to that, I guess, freaked his family out. And that's crazy. But I mean, you put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Somebody say they just saw aliens come in the house and they walk through the door. I mean, most people will look at you like you're crazy, unless they experience something like that themselves. I mean, that's definitely sad.
Been quiet for so long, lost my family, created a lot of dissension. I remember we were on a highway one day, and my wife was driving at the time, my ex-wife, and she slammed on the brakes, and it was like, just get out of the car, because the kids were scared, and I was like, I'm sticking to my story. I'm not changing my story because this really happened to me, and they just didn't want to hear it. But her parents were Jehovah's Witnesses, so everything was of the devil, And so it was a pretty traumatic experience. It took a long time to talk about it. The only reason why I came out with that information was because I started running into a lot of people at conferences that would come up to me and tell me that they were having these experiences. They were horrified to talk about them. So I felt like if I would talk about it, I would give them strength for them to have expressed themselves and walk in their truth and believe in their experience that they had,
Imagine seeing aliens, the one thing that people say they want to see. Imagine seeing aliens and then you tell somebody and they label you as crazy. Goddamn.
So when you started telling this story just right now, I want to point something out. Listen, I'm skeptical about everything. I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
I could believe there was one physical sensation that I saw in you that kind of freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. Crying, people can put that on.
True.
You started to perspire.
Yeah, I know.
That to me, I don't know. I know that actors can induce crying.
That's what I was saying.
I don't know if they can induce sweat. so to me, the tears are less of an example. I mean, your whole forehead just started to sweat. So maybe that is a traumatic experience of the loss of your family, and that is evoking that reaction. But fuck. Okay.
Were the beings, did they have clothes on? Was there anything else discernible about them?
Yeah, they didn't really have on what looked like clothes to me. They weren't really gray. They were almost like brownish, but they had very big eyes, 2 little tiny dots per nose, a slit for a mouth. They never opened the mouth. They never opened. They never moved at all. They didn't even shake. There was no facial movements. I couldn't discern if they were even real or not real, or in terms of being something that was flesh. But their hands were very long and dangly like you see on TV. I swear to you. And I was just completely shocked. Now, 2 things happened to me after this situation. The first thing was, of course, I scared the hell out of everybody. The second thing was, I kept hearing this voice in my head over and over again, worldwide telescope, worldwide telescope, worldwide telescope, over and over and over. So finally, the next day I got so tired of this, I couldn't stop this noise, this phrase.
What was the sound of the voice? What was the...
It sounded like my voice.
It's your own voice.
My own voice.
Echoing worldwide telescope. Worldwide.
Over and over and over again. So I go to my computer. Back then, Google wasn't a big name yet. It was Excite.com. So I get on Excite.com. I type in worldwide telescope, or you can type it in on Google now. First thing popped up was worldwidetelescope.org, and I almost fell out of my chair. worldwidetelescope.org is a site where all the space probe data from all the missions into space exists based on taxpayer and research data. So you can download this. Back then you had to download it. You couldn't just web. You didn't have www whatever they call it now. But now you can just run it from the app from the browser. But back then you had to install it. You can still install it if you want. I go in there. I go in and I go, okay, what is this? And I see Moon, Mars, all these other planets and so forth and star systems. I click on Mars. I click on Mars. Then I see panoramas pop up. I go, oh, panorama. I click on panoramas. The next thing I know, I see the names of panoramas. So I click on McMurdo Valley. I go into McMurdo Valley, and I start seeing things that don't belong.
What's a panorama?
It's like
just an image?
A wide image, but it's not just a regular image. It's an image that allows you to zoom in, zoom out, pan left and right from the rover's perspective.
So you're looking at images that have been taken from spacecraft.
From the Mars rovers.
The Mars rovers.
Yeah.
Of Mars.
Spirit rover and Opportunity rover.
But they are of Mars, or they're of...
They're of Mars, on Mars.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. Spirit rover is no longer operating because one of the last images it transmitted looked really strange. I think they just blew it up or something. they never turned it back on after that one. But these things that I saw on the surface between the presidential panorama and also McMurdo Valley, they didn't look like they belonged on Mars. They looked like broken down structures from the Middle East. And I was like, what the hell is this? And the more I looked, the more of these anomalies I kept seeing. So it led me down a whole rabbit hole into anomaly hunting. That anomaly hunting got me into researching these ancient civilizations. That's how it happened. That's literally how it happened. So because of that experience, I became an expert in ancient civilizations. Literally. That's how I got into it.
And do you feel, is this an example of the...
Yeah, that's the Spirit rover right there on the upper left. And there's a lot of anomalies. We've documented so many crazy anomalies over the years. And I can send you some if you want to.
Anomalies like what?
Some crazy stuff that made CNN and made CNBC, Fox News. A lot of our stuff has been featured in the news. We've downloaded over 1 million of these panoramas from the space agencies, and we've now documented over 60,000 anomalies. Things that don't belong there. Everything from pyramids to unks.
Yeah, what is the craziest image that you have documented?
The craziest image I would have to say would be this object that looks like, I gotta say looks like, because we're not there, looks like an airplane. Another one would be this statue on the side of Victoria Crater. And I can pull these up and give them to you. Another one would be these ankhs. We found several ankhs laying around in the sand.
What's an ankh?
The Egyptian ankh. The cross with the loop on top.
Oh.
Yeah. What are those doing up there?
Right.
And so, I'm just saying, what's that doing there?
That'd probably be a good spot to end it right there. But I mean, listen, alien encounters. I mean, do you believe in them? You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe in aliens. I believe aliens are in the sky, on Earth, in the water. And I believe they've been here before that. I believe that's where we got all this technology from. You know what I'm saying? How they lived one way for thousands of years, and then in 500 years, now now I'm doing a reaction video about aliens with you. You know, so I definitely believe in it. And you know, as far as this guy's story, I have no reason not to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Why did they come to him in that vision? Well, not the vision, but the encounter that he had. I'm not sure. But drop down in the comments. Let me know. Have you ever had an alien encounter? Do you believe in aliens? Is this story BS? Is he just trying to sell a book? He lost his family over it. He said he didn't make any money. I mean, I don't know. Do I want to have an alien encounter? I don't. I don't want to wake up and an alien is over me, or I'm being probed, or I don't want that. Do I want to see real footage of aliens? I would love to see that before my time on this earth is done. But for now, listen, thank you for rocking with your boy. Let me know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let's blow this channel up. I'm on the road to 10K. Subscribe. Peace. I'm out. Until next time. If you like more videos like this, more like, I guess, conspiracy or alien or even, horror, something like that, let me know and we can get it done. Let me know.